Hi folks, you probably weren't wondering about this, but I'm going to tell you anyway, how banking evolved. The first bankers emerged around 640 AD. The bankers were actually goldsmiths. The concept of banking didn't exist back then. But what the goldsmiths had that people needed was a safe place to store gold. They were working gold, they had a safe. So people started bringing their gold into the goldsmith and asking him to store it. And he said, okay, I'll charge you a small fee. So people were basically paying him interest to keep their gold in his pseudo bank. Now, he would issue them a receipt. And what most people would do is if they were going to say buy a piece of property, they bring the receipt back, pick up their gold, go out and buy the piece of property. Then the person that got the gold would take it to the goldsmith and he would put it on deposit and he would get a receipt for it. After a while, people figured out that they didn't need to go through all that. They could just take their receipt for their gold and give it to the guy who owned the property. And that was an early rudimentary form of paper money. Now, about 20, 30 years later, after all this started, the bankers started realizing that they could loan out that gold. They could loan out their clients' gold because most people weren't redeeming it. Most people weren't bringing their certificates back. It was just sitting in the vault for years at a time sometimes. So they would loan out paper gold, and it didn't take them too long after they started doing that to figure out they could loan it out many times over. So that was the early version of what we have today, fractional reserve banking, where a banker can take $10,000 and make a $100,000 loan with it. He only has to have $10,000 in reserves. So at this point, the bankers, instead of charging money to people, charging them for storing the gold, they started paying interest because they wouldn't have the gold in their little safe so that they could lend it out. People often wonder how bankers make money making loans at 4%. They don't. They make money by creating money. When they make a loan, they're taking $10,000 and making a $100,000 loan. So in effect, they're getting 40% if the loan is at a 4% level. I hope that wasn't confusing, but I think it's important for us to understand how banking got started. Have a great day and Lord bless you.